Welcome to the 2020 Word Awards celebration, COVID edition. And here are your hosts, Sherry Stahl and Joe Amaral.
Welcome everyone to the 2020 Word Awards, our 32nd annual awards for the Word Guild. I am so excited to be here. I am Sherry Stahl, author, speaker, and blogger, host of the Soul 8 Show radio and podcast show, and I am uber thrilled to have my friend Joe Amaral here today.
Hey, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this. It's really cool. I've been to the gala in person, and of course this year we're doing things a little bit differently, but hey, this is the way the world is going, right?
This is right. Joe, maybe if you can just introduce yourself to the audience, because I know you well, but there might be some people, I don't know, they're from a corner of the world. I don't know if they don't know you and your ministry. If you could maybe just share a few things about what you're doing.
Well, sure. The short version is that in 2002, I started traveling to Israel and was really impacted by the culture and how much, it affected the way people lived on a daily basis. And then, as a Gentile coming back to Canada going, I've been looking at this the wrong way the whole time. And so I started to look at the scripture from a Hebraic or a Jewish perspective. And that started to catch on. People are like, hey, we've not heard this before, or we never thought of it like that before. And I started to compile, and before you knew it, in 2011, I think it was, I published, my first book, Understanding Jesus, and then it kind of went on from there. So that's what people kind of know me for.
Mm-hmm. But recently you're doing lots of ministry in Liberia and around the world. It's just incredible. God's really opened up that ministry. So we're really glad to have you here. You are, a great author. Your books have impacted my life, and I know so many others. So, we're honored to have you here as a part of the Word Awards. And like you mentioned, this is a very different awards, and, going online. And at first we didn't know how people were going to, take the news that we weren't going to have our regular yearly gala to announce our winners.
Yeah, but what can you do?
What can you do? But people are so excited. And I know if you're listening, there are so many people that have written us from Alberta or New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, sharing how excited they are that for the very first time ever in 32 years of the awards, that people have been able to hear their voice called in every province of our land.
That's
people,
awesome.
We have Canadians who are actually living in the US or abroad, and they're logging in tonight to hear, they've heard their name on the shortlist show, and they're wanting to see if their name is in the winners list. So we are so excited to have people from all across Canada. In our shortlist alone, we had 7 out of the 10 provinces represented. Just amazing. So people from so many different provinces, and we just hope that increases. We hope that the word of the news, the Word Guild spreads, and that more people submit and win from all across Canada. And
well, it actually would be helpful, I think, if people who are watching this live right now, we don't know where you're watching from. So in the comments section below, it'd be cool to say, hey, I'm from Ontario, or I'm from BC, or if you're watching outside of Canada, let us know what country you're from. I think that'll kind of be cool, and it'll encourage other people to say, wow, this is really going bigger than just our little part of the world,
Yeah, so let us know. We're recording this in advance, so Joe and I are going to be in the chat room, and we're going to be checking out, we'll be responding to you where you're from, your questions throughout the awards presentations as they're on Facebook Live and YouTube. So, make sure, let us know, where are you from? Because we know that just on the short list, we have people all the way from New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec, from Saskatchewan, Manitoba, British Columbia, Alberta. Like, you're from all over. So I think actually that's 8 out of 10 provinces. I mean,
okay.
So just we're from all over. So make sure you let us know where you're tuning in from.
Okay, so we're going to be monitoring the chat rooms kind of live while it's being broadcast. Is that the deal? So people want to say really nice things about us, they should do it now.
That's it. That's a good thing. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're just thrilled to be here. And right now we're going to welcome the chairman of the board, David Kitts, to come and just give us a few words.
I want to welcome you to this first time ever Word Guild Award. And for those right across this country, I want to say thank you for joining in this telecast. it's amazing just to see how we can be connected right across Canada from coast to coast to coast. So we appreciate you joining in. First of all, I want to just generally talk briefly about the Word Guild and the awards, of course, and just to tell you a little bit about our vision. And our vision really is to develop writers right across this country, Christian writers who can present the message of Christ in a variety of ways through a variety of different genre of writing. And so the awards that you're going to hear about tonight, they have, they're in a whole wide range of fields, writing both in the secular and what we would call the Christian market. And so I think we have a voice. We as Christian writers have a voice. And it's in developing this voice that I would like to say, thank you so much to everyone who has submitted entries, everyone who has been a part of this whole process, because you're putting yourself out there. You are making a difference in this world, and you have entered this competition, this contest, really in faith, in trusting that the marking will be with integrity, and I have complete confidence in those who've worked with us to put on this awards program. So I just want to say how grateful I am to you. I've been on the, how would I say, receiving end, you might say, of good news at awards ceremonies like this, and on the disappointing end where, oh gee, I didn't make the short list, or I didn't, I was on the short list, but I didn't get that big prize. And I just want to say to all of you, your efforts are appreciated. And regardless of where you place tonight, let's celebrate those who have achieved those top grades, but let's also recognize that your work is valued by the Lord. And it is valued by your readers who I'm sure have been touched by your writing experience. Just briefly, I want to say that the Word Guild, I want to encourage you to be a member of the Word Guild and renew your membership when it comes due. Of course, the Word Guild website is available for you simply at the wordguild.com. You can go there at any time to sign up as a member, renew your membership, and find out other information about the programs and events we do, including chapters that are functioning across the country, even in these difficult times. So I just want to encourage you to work with us. And I appreciate those who have put so much effort into making this a wonderful organization, a caring organization where the love of Christ is reflected in what we say, what we do, and how we interact with each other. With that said, I want to say an opening prayer, because above all else, we need the Lord Jesus Christ present with us here tonight. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much that you care about writers here in Canada, and that you, by your Holy Spirit, inspire them to do wonderful, wonderful work. And so, Father, I pray that as this program continues, that a sense of your presence would permeate the hearts of those who are listening and watching. And so we give you thanks for the good work that has been done and continues to be done through this organization. We thank you, Lord, for being our great overseer, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. God bless you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the evening together.
Great, thanks so much for that. Sherry, I think as writers, people, they give us a hard time. They think, writers are, we're deep thinkers and we're serious all the time. And well, they don't say that about me. Maybe they say that about you. So,
thinking not, but a
well,
lot of writers.
yeah, there's this kind of view. Oh, they're always sitting at their
Mhm.
desk, typing away or writing away. And, hey, we're people too.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if you heard the other day about this pregnant woman who went to the hospital and she went into labor. No, and then right in the middle of
No.
her labor, she started yelling. She went, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, didn't, can't. She was having contractions.
Sprumching.
There you go. Gary, please save this night.
Well, you know what? The awards are such an important part of the Word Guild. They're an important part of writing in so many ways. And sometimes people feel like the only benefit they can get out of the awards is if they get the win.
Mm.
And unfortunately, not everyone gets a win. Now, we have a lot of winners. There's 59 people getting awards on 56 different awards. Some are co-authored, but there are a lot of people, but there's still so many who entered that really have great books, but just weren't chosen as the winners in their respective categories. But I found out from one of our Word Guild members, they wrote us and told us the impact that the awards are having on their writing apart from ever winning. And so I just want to read that quickly with you so you see the benefit of the awards beyond just the win. So this author wrote in and said, I need to share something else. When I found out I made the shortlist, I'd been writing in a writing slump for some time. My current work in progress was stagnation around about the 25,000 word mark. Blame COVID? I don't know. I just couldn't seem to motivate myself to work on it. And then I heard the announcement. I asked myself, okay, it would be great to win, but what are you going to do if you don't? You'll be sitting here with a stalemated work in progress and feeling less motivated than ever. You'll probably never finish it. I looked at the calendar. 5 weeks into the gala, I did some of the math. If I committed to writing 10,000 words a week, challenging but not impossible, I could reach the end of my first draft by June 13th. Then, win or lose, I'd have something to celebrate on awards night and something fun to work on after that. And more importantly, I've been going to bed much happier with myself and my life each night. All that to say, the contest can be an excellent motivation, win or lose. And so she shared that with me, and I know she's made that goal. And so she's celebrating tonight, no matter before she wins or loses in the categories. But I wanted to share that with you guys that if you've been shortlisted, that's really an amazing thing, and feel confident and good about that. And we just want to encourage you in your writing. And so as we get into the awards, we just want you to feel that confidence, win or lose.
Well, they say that the hardest thing about writing is writing. Everyone loves to say, oh, I have, this book, or how many people have you met who for like years have been telling, oh, I'm writing a novel,
Yeah.
And every time you see them at a family event or a gathering, they'd say, oh, I'm writing a novel, So yeah, congratulations to anybody who actually finishes their manuscript. That is a huge, awards aside, just personally, what an award or reward that is to be able to finish.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to start going through the awards and their categories. So I thought I would just kind of read out what the main categories are, and then we'll give a little bit of instruction before we continue so people can kind of see how the night's going to go down. So for tonight, we're going to start with the following categories. We're going to be looking at unpublished works, digital entry, book categories, and then the specialty awards. And at the very end, we're going to have, a few announcements and a few closing comments. And there may or may not be some bloopers at the end. Like, I don't foresee you making any mistakes, Sherry.
Oh, of course not.
I for sure am going to make my share of them. So hang out to the very end. Like, when you watch those movies and after all the credits go, oh, there's an end scene that everybody missed. Stick around. You're going to make it worth your while, all right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that part.
Well, like I said, it's probably going to be more of me. But, I'm the new kid in town. I'm the new kid on the team. And, you've been doing this for a while now, Sherry, and you know exactly how this works. So a couple of things. First of all, tonight's different. We're we're not all in the same room together. We're not standing on a platform together. You know, you're in your house, you're in my house. We have people from all across the country who are joining in, you know, via the internet. And also, it's not just me and you tonight. We have other contributors and presenters. And so throughout the night, we're just going to be putting their introductions up on the screen in their presentation. So it'll be, I'll be talking, and then you'll be talking, and then a presenter will go on the screen. So that way, everybody gets to get included. In a way, it's kind of a really cool way to do things. So that's the physical format of the show. Now tell us, if you can, share a little bit about the awards themselves, some of the rules, and how does somebody even make it to the shortlist?
And I'm going to just explain it a bit, because people do have a lot of confusion about this. So each year at the awards, we want to just, you know, take another moment to just explain, because sometimes there are 3 in a shortlisted category, and sometimes there aren't. There's just a winner that's going to be announced. And people wonder, why? Does that mean that no one else entered that category? And no, that doesn't mean it. In order to be on the short list, your work has to make 80% to be even considered to be on the short list. And then the short list is the 3 top marks in a category above the 80%. So in many of them, there's lots of people above 80%, but in some, there are not many people that make it above the 80%. And so that's why some categories you will hear a short list announced. Sometimes there'll be 2 in a short list or 3 in a short list. And then sometimes you're just going to hear a winner announced. But for the unpublished works, a lot of them, we're just announcing the winners in those categories. So it kind of depends from category to category, but that hopefully will give you some explanation beyond the awards and what you can expect. And I just want to say that there's also a couple of our categories. Most of them just have a winner, but there are just a couple of categories that also have an award of merit. And that's where, in consultation with our many, many judges, that we have decided this other work really does need recognition. And so in one class, there are 2 awards of merit, and you will understand when we get to that point. But that's the way that our awards run. And we're really looking forward to being able to announce, hopefully, your name in the awards circle. And then, of course, if you are a winner, you want to stay on into the very end. If you have to go take a break, but make sure you're there for the very end and hear the instruction to winners.
All right, so Sherry, are we good to go?
We are so good to go, Joe.
Awesome. Well, let's get started with our first class.
Hi, I'm Kevin Kirk from Tyndale University, and on behalf of the entire Tyndale University community, we wish to express our heartfelt congratulations to all of this year's award recipients. Tyndale is pleased to sponsor the Fresh Ink Student Writing Awards for High School Students category, and within this category there are 3 recipients. The first goes for short story category, and it goes to Sarah Van Zanby from Edmonton, Alberta. It's for the story, The Messiah Beside Me, The Criminal on the Cross, and Sarah's homeschooled. Congratulations, Sarah. The next category is for poetry, and the recipient in this category is Rachel Reed from Hamilton, Ontario, for the poem, The Personal Poems of Aliana Sharon. And Rachel attends Westmount Secondary School in Hamilton. Congratulations, Rachel. And the third recipient within this category is for the first 3 chapters of an unpublished manuscript, and it goes to Kyle Lavasseur from Hythe, Alberta, and it is for the book. And Kyle is also homeschooled. Congratulations to each one of you for a job well done.
Hi, I'm Paulette Kinmon from Crossroads Christian Communications, and today I have the privilege and honor of being able to be a part of the awards for Fresh Ink Student Awards. We are so excited for you from the Crossroads team for all the work, the time, the energy, the dedication and commitment that you have done to be at this place. So congratulations to each and every one of you. 2 awards that I would like to present today, the first one being for poetry. I'd like to congratulate Caitlin Hogersup from Centerville, Nova Scotia. His Mercy is More, Redeemer University, Hamilton, Ontario. The second award that I would like to present is for script, screen, or stage. Julia Friesen from North York, Ontario, A Broken Violin. Tyndale University and Seminary, Toronto, Ontario. Congratulations, continue all that you are doing, and we wish you so much success.
Hello, writers and friends. My name is Patricia Patty, and tonight it's my joy to present the WENDY ELAINE NELLES Memorial Award. Who was Wendy Nellis? Well, she was a co-founder of the Word Guild. She passed away in July of 2018, almost 2 years ago. But the work and friendships she left behind are a testament to how she led her life. Wendy was a journalist and an editor known for precision and attention to detail. She was a visionary leader, recognized for her unceasing work and her spirit of service. She co-directed the Write Canada Conference for 8 years and served on its leadership team for 22 years, and she oversaw literary awards because she believed in mentoring writers to a higher level of excellence and influence. The WENDY ELAINE NELLES Memorial Award was established by a group of her friends and is given annually in Wendy's honor. Our goal? To memorialize Wendy, of course, but also to encourage young writers who are pursuing journalism, literature, or communication studies at the post-secondary level and who demonstrate Wendy's very best qualities: character, leadership, perseverance, commitment to excellence, and commitment to Christ. This year's award includes $500 to be used for the winner's writing development. And again, this year we found the standard of applicants was high. Our task as a judging committee was a challenging one, but ultimately there was one applicant who struck us as most deserving. She is a woman described by one of her professors as having a truly Christ-like character. The winner is in her 3rd year of English and Communication Studies at Tyndale University. She's worked as a student journalist for Tyndale Communications and says that, quote, beauty and truth are what she strives to communicate in all her writing, ultimately for the glory of God. I think Wendy would be pleased. I'd like to congratulate this year's winner of the WENDY ELAINE NELLES Memorial Award, Julia Friesen.
Hi there, my name is Julia Friesen, and I was graciously awarded the WENDY ELAINE NELLES Memorial Award. I wanted to express my gratitude to the Word Guild and its very encouraging staff. Encouragement and support is invaluable. I came from a small town where my interest in writing was not met with many resources, but since I've come to Tyndale University, I have been met with more guidance, and I was introduced to the Word Guild. That's turned out to be a huge blessing for my writing life and for my faith. I secondly also wanted to express gratitude to Wendy, the co-founder of this God-centered organization. This woman who I have never had the chance to meet has managed to inspire me to write well and to love well.
Hi, I am here to present the In the Beginning Unpublished Author Award. I'm Lisa Hall Wilson of the Deep Dive Author Club. So the shortlist then for this award is Colleen Albert of Vegreville, Alberta, Singing Mom Home. Evelyn Peterson, Mississauga, Ontario, Through Her Lens. Paul C. Breen from Burlington, Ontario, Saying Goodbye to Heather, as well as Ronnie the Bees. Mary Vanderkroof from Francis, Ontario, for The Branch. Paul C. Breen from Burlington, Ontario again with Hammerlock. Kelly Ditmars of Victoria, BC, for All That It Takes. And Joanna Jansen of Jordan Station, Ontario, for When Towers Fall. Now there are 4 awards here, so I'll just go through the winners. For the short story, we have Evelyn Peterson of Mississauga, Ontario. Congrats. For the nonfiction short piece, we have Paul C. Breen from Burlington, Ontario. For the poetry, we have Paul C. Breen again from Burlington, Ontario. And for the first 3 chapters of fiction or nonfiction, we have Kelly L. Ditmars from Victoria, BC. Congrats, everyone.
Good evening. My name is Larry Willard. I am president of Castle Key Books. I'm very pleased to be with you this evening, although sorry that we can't be there in person. I'd like to thank all the members of the Word Guild and all those authors who submitted manuscripts to our Best New Canadian Christian Manuscript Contest. We were very pleased with the selection of submissions this year. And I'm also very pleased that we're able to announce a winner this evening. Remember that the reason why we have this contest is to encourage people to write and submit unpublished manuscripts to be published by Castle Key Books in the subject area of Christian content, Christian doctrine, Christian inspiration, and in an original and if possibly an inspiring way. This year we had many submissions, and the judges at the Word Guild narrowed it down to 5 submissions. Our own group then selected the finalist based on a new set of criteria that we use for publishing books with Castle Key Books. The selection of finalists that was selected by the Word Guild judges were the following. Eugene O'Coin from Dieppe, New Brunswick, for Are You Wired to Believe or to Doubt? A Faith Lift. And surprisingly, Eugene O'Coin had a second finalist. Great work, Eugene. And it was The Appeal of God, From Sense to Sensibility. Terry Todd from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, submitted April's Promise and was a finalist. Susan Cullen from Chatham, Ontario, submitted Encryption and was a finalist. And finally, Larry McCluskey from Ottawa, Ontario, submitted Inarticulate Speech of the Heart. Those were the Word Guild judge finalists, and I would now like to announce who the winner of the Best New Christian Manuscript for 2020 is. The winner is Larry McCluskey for Inarticulate Speech of the Heart from Ottawa, Ontario. Congratulations, Larry. Congratulations to all our finalists. This was a very difficult time again this year, and I want to thank you for all of the hard work that you put into your manuscripts.
Well, I'd like to start by thanking the good people at the Word Guild, in particular Sherry Stahl and David Kitts, who have been very helpful. I really want to give a heartfelt thank you to Castle Key Books. Larry and Marina Willard have been fantastic. I have a book published with them, and they have been really amazing to work with, and hopefully we will work again in the near future. This may come as a shock to some people, but publishing books is not necessarily something that's going to make you rich. So it really is something that people do because it's their vocation, and the Willards do an amazing job. I have had the privilege for 35 years working with students with disabilities, and to that end I wrote a book called Inarticulate Speech of the Heart, and I've tried to tell their stories and reveal something of my own inarticulate speech of the heart. Finally, I want to thank my family and friends, and to my wife Kara, who's holding the camera now, for many reasons. Thank you.
So now we're going to be entering into the digital entry class, and we have 12 categories, starting with Christian articles, short pieces. And let's get going with the section of blog, and that's sponsored by Soul H2O Ministries. First, we have Eleanor Burton from Botha, Alberta, for Foster Masculinity, and that's with the Eleanor Burton blog. And then we have Vayan King from Edmonton, Alberta, My Father's Eyes from the Vayan King blog, and NG Lindquist from Markham, Ontario, for My Father's Story, and that's under the NJ Linguist blog. And the winner is Eleanor Burton from Botha, Alberta, for Foster Masculinity. Congratulations. Our next category is Column Series, sponsored by Compassion Canada. And the short list is made up of Carolyn Arends from Surrey, BC, Getting Our Story Straight, and It Takes a Global Village, and those are both from Faith Today. David Koretsky, that's a really cool last name. Ottawa, Ontario for Cross Connections, and that's also in Faith Today. And we also have Todd Stahl from Leamington, Ontario for the articles Taker or Giver, Wet Sponge, and that's from Promise Keepers Canada. And the winner is Carolyn Arends from Surrey, BC for Getting Our Story Straight, and It Takes a Global Village from Faith Today.
Congratulations, Carolyn. And next we have Column Single. This is also sponsored by Compassion Canada. Our short list is Roland DeVries from Montreal, Quebec, in his article, The Missing Cup, published in the Christian Courier. Derek Schumann from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Dear Ben, Letter to a Young IT Worker, published in the Christian Courier. And then Christina Van Starkenberg from Esquimalat, BC, and her entry, What I Didn't Know About Prayer, published by Christian Courier. So Christian Courier, you're going to take the win here. And the article that wins in this category is Roland DeVries from Montreal, Quebec. Congratulations, Roland. Our next category is Inspirational Devotional, sponsored by Testimony and Rich Magazine. And our shortlist in this category starts off with Sarah E. Ball from Cochrane, Alberta. Not just a Christmas lyric that was published by Testimony and Testimony and Rich. Rose McCormick Brandon from Caledonia, Ontario, and her entry, The O of God, published in The Bible Advocate. And then we have Darlene Pinter from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Hang on, sorry, I can't let that go. Moose Jaw? That is like the best name for a city in Canada. I've actually preached in the Pentecostal church there.
Oh, too funny. I agree. No, I agree.
Throw that in there.
That is the best name for a city in Canada.
There's nothing more Canadian than that.
Nothing more Canadian than that. So Darlene is, her entry was Birdwatching and Looking for God at Work, and that was published in Faith Today. And the winner of this category for Inspirational Devotional is Rose McCormick Brandon. Congratulations, Rose.
Right on. So now we're going to be looking at the category of long feature, and that's sponsored by Compassion Canada. And our first entry is Maxine Hancock from Vancouver, BC, Costly Grace and Severe Mercy, Theological Resonances in Louise Penny's Three Pine Mysteries, and that's by Crux. Amy McLaughlin from Burlington, Ontario, Bucking the System. Can We End Chronic Poverty in Canada? And that was published in Faith Today. And the winner is Amy McLaughlin from Burlington, Ontario for Bucking the System, Can We End Chronic Poverty in Canada? Congratulations, Amy.
And in news, we have sponsorship from H&H Communication Services. And our shortlist is Angela Bick from Newcastle, Ontario, in her entry, Power Trips, published in the Christian Courier. Then we have Craig McCartney from Ottawa, Ontario, his entry, How Hope Rose from the Ashes of the Rwandan Genocide, published in Faith Today. Eleanor Shepard from Pointe Claire, Quebec, her entry, A Stitch in Time, published in the Salvation Army of Canada and Bermuda Territory. And the winner is Craig McCartney from Ottawa, Ontario. Congratulations, Craig.
Yeah, awesome. And now we'll look at the category of personal experience, sponsored by Testimony and Rich Magazine. And the short list is comprised of Carolyn Arends from Surrey, BC, Stoicism Isn't Spiritual. That was written in Faith Today. Deb Elkink from Cypress Creek, Alberta, The Mosaic of Humanity, and that's self-published. And we have Patricia Patty from Mississauga, Ontario, for Practicing the Practices of My Faith, and that's in Faith Today. And the winner is Carolyn Arends from Surrey, BC. Congratulations.
And now we have the poetry category, and that is sponsored by Testimony and Rich Magazines. And our shortlist for these this category is Sandy Ayer from Vancouver, BC, and his entry, Snow Angels, published in Crux Magazine. Next, we have both entries, the number 2 and number 3 are from Dagmar Morgan from Mississauga, Ontario. And Dagmar's 2 entries are There Is No Free Meal, published in Love is Moving Movement magazine. And then her other entry, Things My Father Calls Me, and that was published again in Love is Moving Movement. And the winner is Dagmar Morgan from Mississauga, Ontario. Congratulations, Dagmar, for winning with your entry, There Is No Free Meal.
Our next category is Profile Human Interest, and it's sponsored by Belinda's Burstin' with Flavor Pies.
And I am so hoping that Belinda's going to send us some of her pies.
Yeah, I think it's in the contract. She has to.
Yeah. We'll add it in.
Okay, well, our first entry comes from Eleanor Shepherd from Pointe Claire, Quebec. An Interrupted Life, Remembering Karen Morris, and that's printed in the Salvation Army Canada and Bermuda Territory. And then we have Jordan Hagman from Stony Creek, Ontario, Trading One Dream for Another, and that's from the Testimony and Testimony Enrich. And then we have Craig McCartney from Ottawa, Ontario, Persecuted but Not Struck Down, How 3 Persecuted Christians from Iraq, Egypt, and Myanmar are Making Canada Home. And that was from Faith Today. And the winner is Craig McCartney from Ottawa, Ontario. Congratulations, Craig.
And Short Feature is sponsored by Carol Ford. Our winner for that category is Alex, or Alexandra Newman from Toronto, Ontario. In her entry, Christian Post-Secondary Schools Are a Good Investment. Report highlights benefits to the spiritual and academic lives of youth. Published in Faith Today.
Awesome. Congrats on that. Our next category is for short story, and that's sponsored by Ottawa Christian Writers Fellowship. And our first entry is from Eleanor Burton from Botha, Alberta, for her article Like Wool in the Mosaic Collection. And then we have Deb Elkink from Cypress County, Alberta, Evergreening from Rolled Scroll Press. And finally, we have Tara K. Ross from Milton, Ontario, Pressing into Stillness, self-published. And the winner is Eleanor Burton. Congratulations.
And for Christian Scripts, the full-length stage or screenplay, it is sponsored by Karen Amaral Design. We have the winner, Anne Cataruza from Longueuil, Quebec, and Kim Feeney from Saint Lambert, Quebec, in their entry, Searching for Shaida. Congratulations, girls.
Hi, I'm Les Lundquist, partner in That's Life Communications, the publisher of the Hot Apple Cider series of anthologies by Canadian Christian writers. I'm pleased to announce the winners of the general categories. We believe the general category is very important because it's just very significant for the writing of Canadian Christians to be in the hands of the general public. And so these are pieces that were published targeting the general audience. There are 5 categories. And the first category, the winner is David Kitts from Orleans, Ontario, for The Slow Silent Type, Confessions of an Ottawa Male Misfit, published in the Ottawa Citizen. In the long feature category, the winner is Paul Heinzman from Chelsea, Quebec, for Bill Mason's Environmental Ethics, Ideas for Outdoor Educators, published in Pathways, which is the Ontario Journal of Ontario Education, published by the Council of Outdoor Educators in Ontario. In the personal feature category, the winner is Terry Todd from Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, for No Such Thing as Unplanned, published in the Graphic Leader. In the short story category, the short list includes Marcia Laycock from Black Falls, Alberta, for A Surgery of Pain and Silence, published in P.S. I Love You. And the second in the short list is Tara K. Ross from Milton, Ontario, for Searching for Spotlights, published in the Wells Street Journal. And the winner is Tara K. Ross from Milton for Searching for Spotlights. In the short script category, the winner is Terry Todd from Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, for What Peace We Forfeit. Thank you.
Hi, Paulette Kinmon here from Crossroads Christian Communications. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here to represent Crossroads and the Mains family. I know if David was here, he would be applauding you loudly. So he and Norma Jean, we just want to say thank you so much for all that you have done. We thank you for your dedication and your commitment. I would like to announce the short list of 3 individuals. Jonathan Puddle from Guelph, Ontario. Jonathan Puddle. Next, Vaughn King from Edmonton, Alberta, going further. And next, Melanie Stevenson, Cambridge, Ontario. Melanie Stevenson. Congratulations to all 3 of you. What an exciting time. And we just want to thank you again for your time and dedication and making these wonderful submissions. So, to announce the winner now it goes to Jonathan Puddle, Guelph, Ontario, Jonathan Puddle. Congratulations, Jonathan. Wishing you all the best in your future endeavors. God bless.
Hey everyone, thank you so much. I am deeply, deeply honored to receive the David Maines Best Blog of the Year award. Thank you to Crossroads Communications for choosing me this year. Thank you to the Word Guild. I'm honored to be included in this legacy of David Maines with Sarah Ball from last year. And a huge congratulations as well to Vahen and to Melanie for being shortlisted in this category. I want to share very quickly, last year my most popular blog post was How to Turn Your Husband Down for Sex, followed by How to Build a Multi-Generational Church Service. But with this pandemic, my stats changed significantly, and my most popular article for the last little while has been How to Get Closer to God When You're Afraid of Him, followed by what to do when your prophetic word doesn't happen. And so I just want to encourage all of you writers, encouragers, people out there, speakers. People are looking for hope. They're looking for encouragement. They are looking for news that is good. And so my prayer is that each of us would continue on in this work, encouraging those who are seeking God, bringing the lost into the kingdom. When you get tired, may you find rest, and may you keep going, bringing hope and encouragement to this world and this nation who desperately need it. Thank you so much. God bless you guys.
Our next category is for the Terrence L. Bingley Award, Songwriting Award, and that's sponsored by the Bingley family.
And they're such an amazing family. Judy Bingley has been supporting the Word Awards through her time, her talents, and her dollars to really encourage musicians for a long, long time here with the Word Guild. And we're just so thankful for their input.
Our shortlist is comprised of Elise Arsenault from Hamilton, Ontario for In the Velvet, and Brooke Nichols from Oshawa, Ontario for The Darkness Doesn't Scare Me. And the winner is Elise Arsenault from Hamilton, Ontario, In the Velvet. Congratulations.
Elise, that's a hard job going up against Brooke Nichols. So it's just really congratulations there. Both songs, really amazing. Elise had entered a few songs, so thank you, girls.
Hello, everyone. I don't think I'll be able to properly express how generous and meaningful this is, but there are 3 names I would like to mention in thanks. Firstly, to the Bingley family. I don't have to look far to recognize the sincerity and the expertise and the heart that Terrence L. Bingley brought to the music market across North America, that and his clear heart for worship. So thank you to you, Judy, and family for choosing to honor him in this way by helping musicians spread the light of the world in their art. That is so special, and I'm grateful for it. Secondly, to the Word Guild for stewarding all of this so well. And lastly, to my mom. You and I are probably squealing on the couch right now, and so I'd like to thank you for convincing me to submit to this, even offering to pay the submission fee because you believe that my songs have wings. I love you and thank you, and I hope that everyone else enjoys the rest of the evening.
So now we're moving into the published book classes, and our section here is the Christian books, the Christian fiction books. And our first category is children, sponsored by Paul H. Boga. And we have Tim Huff from Aurora, Ontario, in his entry, Make Way for the Christmas Hush, published by Castle Key Press. Janet Surrett from Barrie, Ontario, with Scarlet Spectacles and B&H Publishing. And Christy Thomas from Sherwood Park, Alberta, in her entry, Quinn's Promise Rock, published by Harvest House. And our winner is Janet Surrett from Barrie, Ontario. Congratulations, Janet.
Congratulations.
And then we have the young adult category. This is sponsored by Hope for Liberia. And the shortlist is Jack Taylor, 2 times, 2 different entries for the Crossmaker and the Crossmaker's Guardian, both published by Word Alive Press. He's from Vancouver, BC. And then we have Jennifer L. Wilcock from Exit. Her entry is called Exit Stage Right. And that's also published by Word Alive Press. And the winner is Jennifer L. Wilcock from Kitchener, Ontario. Congratulations.
Our next category is Contemporary, and that's sponsored by Soul H2O Ministries. And our first shortlist is Dora Dweck from Delta, BC, All That Belongs, and that's from Turnstone Press. And then we have Deb Elkink from Cypress County, Alberta, for The Red Journal, and that's from Rolled Squirrel Press. And our third entry is from Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario, for One More Tomorrow, and that is from Word Alive Press. And the winner is Deb Elkink from Cypress County, Alberta. Congratulations, Deb.
In historical fiction, sponsored by Hope for Liberia, our shortlist is Cheryl Bristow from St. Catharines, Ontario, A Shield in the Shadows, published by Zulon Press. And then we have Jack Taylor again, 2 entries. He's from Vancouver, BC. His entries are The Crossmaker and The Crossmaker's Guardian, both again published by Word Alive Press. And the winner is Jack Taylor from Vancouver. And the book that won in this category, Jack, is The Crossmaker. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think I sat with Jack the year that I was shortlisted at our
think you
table.
did. Yeah.
And you can tell by just a few seconds of talking to this guy, you're like, okay, this guy is a lot smarter than I am. So no matter what. So congratulations. That's awesome.
And a nice guy.
He was super nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's look at the next category, which is romance, and that's sponsored by Soul H2O Ministries. And our first name here is Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario, One More Tomorrow, and that's with Word Alive Press. And then we have again Jack Taylor from Vancouver, BC, for the Crossmaker's Guardian, Word Alive Press. And finally, we have Blossom Turner from Kelowna, BC, Anna's Secret, Elk Lake Publishing Limited. And our winner is Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario. Congratulations, Melanie.
And in the combined category of suspense and speculative, this is sponsored by Hope for Liberia. We have Kevin D'Outremont from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and Scars, again, the great place in Canada there, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. His book was published by Word Alive Press. Then we have Sarah Davison from Guelph, Ontario, in her latest, Vigilant, and that was published by Mountain Brook Inc. And Janet Sketchley in her newest entry called Hidden Secrets. It's self-published, and she's from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, so she's watching from out east. And our winner in this category is Kevin D'Outremont from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, in your entry, Scars. Congratulations.
Our next section is for Christian nonfiction.
That's our last regular category, Joe.
Okay, we are getting there. This is exciting. It's so great to see all these winners from all across Canada. You know, we both write. We're authors, and we know how much work goes into writing and developing a manuscript. And so for people to receive recognition like this is so cool to be able to be a part of it.
And then the whole part of marketing your books. And so we're praying that, you know, those of you, you're winning and your name's getting announced, that this is going to help you to market your books.
Yeah, well, this is the best place to start by winning this award. This is great. Our first category is academic, and that's sponsored by Word Alive Press. And our first name is Amanda W. Bancuson from Grand Rapids, Michigan, for The Gospel According to Eve, A History of Women's Interpretation. And that's from InterVarsity Press. And then we have James R. Payton Jr. from Mount Hope, Ontario, for The Victory of the Cross, Salvation in Eastern Orthodoxy, also from InterVarsity Press. And our winner is James R. Payton. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
From where I grew up, not too far, in Mount Hope, Ontario. That's pretty neat.
Cool.
Yeah. In the instructional category, this is sponsored by Fletcher's Horse World, and our shortlist in this category, Marg Gibb from Brantford, Ontario. Her book, Faith, Life, and Leadership, Volume 2. So many stories in that book. It is published by Castle Key Books. And then also Patricia Patty of Mississauga, Ontario, and Karen Stiller. It's a co-authored book. Karen from Ottawa, Ontario. She is not a stranger to the award awards, that's for sure. And their book is titled Craft, Cost, and Call, How to Build a Life as a Christian Writer. And that was published by Friesen Press. And the winner of instructional category is Margaret Gibb from Brantford, Ontario. Congratulations, Marg.
Awesome. This is a really cool category. My heart is in this, in apologetics and evangelism, so important to the Christian faith. And this is sponsored by Redeemer University. Our first entry is a joint entry, and that's from Michael W. Goheen of Surrey, BC, and Jim Mullins of Ada, Michigan, for the Symphony of Mission, and that's with Baker Academic. Our next entry is Jen Pollock from East York, Ontario. Surprised by Paradox, the promise of and in an either-or world with InterVarsity Press. And the winner is our joint entry of Michael W. Goheen and Jim Mullins. Congratulations, guys.
And in biblical studies, it's sponsored by Tyndale University. We have Karen Heinen from King City, Ontario, and her entry, God's Healing Power, published by Word Alive Press. Then we have Mary A. Casson from Sherwood Park, Alberta, and her entry, The Right Kind of Strong, and that was published by Thomas Nelson Press. And William J. Webb from Waterloo, Ontario, and Gordon K. Ostie. It's a co-authored book, published by InterVarsity Press, and the entry is called Bloody, Brutal, and Barbaric Wrestling with Troubling War Texts.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yes, very cool. The winner is Mary A. Cassian from Sherwood Park, Alberta, The Right Kind of Strong. Congratulations.
Yeah, awesome, man. And we will now look at the category of culture, and that's sponsored by Redeemer University. Our first entry is from Paul H. Boga of Winnipeg, Manitoba, The Sound of Hope, the Ernesto Pinto story, and that's with Square One World Media. And then we have Ruth Coghill from Bobcaygeon, Ontario. Again, that is another awesome Canada name, right? Bobcaygeon, Ontario. And also with Sarah Davidson of Guelph, Ontario, Unborn, Untold, True Stories of Abortion and God's Healing Grace. And that's with Word Alive Press. And finally, we have Don Hutchinson from Ottawa, Ontario, Church and Society, First Century Citizenship Lessons from 21st Century Christians, Word Alive Press. And the winner in that category is Paul H. Boga for The Sound of Hope, the Ernesto Pinto story. Congratulations, man.
And in the Christian Living category, this is sponsored by Fletcher's Horse World. Our shortlist is Paul H. Boga from Winnipeg, Manitoba, again, The Sound of Hope, the Ernesto Pinto story, and that's published by Square One World Media, as Joe just said. Then we have Margaret Gibb, who's already been shortlisted from Brantford, Ontario, in her entry, Faith, Life, and Leadership, Volume 2. That was, again, published by Castle Key Books. And our last entry in the shortlist is Kathy Ostapchuk from Oakville, Ontario, and her entry, Brave Women, Bold Moves, and she was published by Word Alive Press. And the winner is Kathy Ostapchuk from Oakville, Ontario. Kathy, congratulations.
That's wonderful. So we are now going to go to our category of inspirational, and this is sponsored by Tyndale University. Our first entry is Ruth Coghill from Bobcaygeon, Ontario, and Sarah Davidson from Guelph, Ontario, for Unborn, Untold, True Stories of Abortion and God's Healing Grace. That's with Word Alive Press. And then we have Greg Hinselman from Georgetown, Ontario. What are you trusting God for? That's self-published. And Todd Solchak from Caledon, Ontario. I learned it through the grapevine. Wisdom comes in bunches. That's really clever. That's also self-titled. And the winner is Todd Solchak from Caledon, Ontario. Congratulations.
And Todd, if we didn't get your name right, we're really sorry, but that's a really difficult last name. And Joe, you want to just go with the next category?
Our next category is devotional, and it's sponsored by Soul H2O Ministries. Our first entry is from Fred Ash, and he's from Calgary, Alberta. Inspiration for a Man Cave. That's with Elm Hill. Heather Rodine and Becky Baxter from Selwyn, Ontario for Appointed, and that's self-published. And then we have Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario for Soul Focus Trials. That's with Word Alive Press. And our winners are Heather Rodine and Becky Baxter from Selwyn, Ontario. Congratulations, ladies.
Yeah, congratulations, girls. In Life Stories, it is sponsored by Karen Amaral Design. And we have Valentina Gal from Fergus, Ontario, in her book, Filipovna, Daughter of Sorrow, published by Guernica Editions. And Helena Smersik from St. Agatha, Ontario, in her entry, Pitchforks and Pedicures, How We Got Our Hobby Farm, self-published. And our last one is Justin D. Weisenberg. Justin D. Weisinger, sorry there, Justin. You're from St. Albert, Alberta, and his entry is The Childlike Heist, and that is self-published. The winner of this category is Valentina Gal from Fergus, Ontario. Congratulations, Valentina. And now the French category, Les Prix des Mots, sponsored by Joe Amaral. And
hey,
our...
means Les Prix des Mots. Do you know what that means?
The Word Awards.
Wow, I'm glad you're reading this category. Please continue.
There we go. That's like, you know, my limited French. I definitely know that Les Prix des Mots means the Word Awards. There we go.
Pulled it off. You pulled it off.
Yeah, I pulled it off. Hopefully to the French people, I've pulled it off. And the category of Vie Chrétienne was won by Susan Doherty from Westmount, Quebec, and her entry, Le Jardin des Fantômes, and it was published by Les Éditions de l'Homme.
Hi, it's Les Lindquist back to do the book awards in the general categories. The first category is the children's category, and the short list includes Tim Huff from Aurora, Ontario for Make Way for the Christmas Hush, published by Castle Key. The second entry is Sally Meadows from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for When Crocodiles Cry, 365 More Amazing Facts About the Animal Kingdom, published by Seratona Creative. And Cindy Palin from Olds, Alberta for Two Willows House for Tea, published by Word Alive Press. And the winner is Tim Huff for Make Way for the Christmas Hush. In the culture category, the winner is Susan Doherty from Westmount, Quebec for The Ghost Garden, published by Random House Canada. In the Life Stories category, the shortlist includes Karen Jansen from Abbotsford, BC for Grow, Cook, Eat, Share, a Memoir, published by the Homestead Press. And David Stiller from London, Ontario, and Patricia Paddy from Mississauga, Ontario for Circle of Opportunity, Stories of Lives Changed, published by Graf Martins Communications. And the winner is Karen Jansen from Abbotsford for Grow, Cook, Eat, Share, a Memoir. Congratulations to all the winners. Thanks.
And now for our final category in this section for the Specialty Book Award. The winner is Doreen Meyer, Norway House, Manitoba, Bannock and Sweet Tea from Gold Rock Press.
Congratulations, Doreen. Well, here we are in our very last section. It's hard to believe the awards are coming to a close.
Final stretch, yeah.
Yeah, it's the ending coming. We have our specialty categories and some amazing awards given out in this section of the awards. And our first award being given out in the specialty category is the Harvey Mackey New Journalist Award, sponsored by the Mackey and Robertson families. And we have a winner for that category. It is Preston Puto from Chestermere, Alberta, and his entry of Caring for Politicians in a Harsh Culture, published by Faith Today. Congratulations, Preston.
Hi there. I want to say what an honor it is to be this year's recipient of the Harvey Mackey Award. I think it's so important for us to be telling the Canadian story of Jesus at work in our midst. And so I just want to say what a tremendous gift it is. And so I thank you very much to the Word Guild for giving me this award, to the Mackey and Robertson families for providing this award and encouraging a person like me. And finally, I want to thank Faith Today for taking risk on a new author and a new writer like myself, and welcoming my voice into that publication. Hey, and I also want to congratulate all the other award winners today.
The Deborah Feguth Award for Social Justice Writing is sponsored this year by Faith Today. My name is Bill Flederis, and I'm one of the editors at Faith Today, Canada's Christian magazine. This award is named for a very special writer who died on Mother's Day in 2016 at the age of 62. Deborah Feguth had an exemplary career in the Christian writing and editing sector. I was her editor briefly, and I can tell you she was a gifted journalist with a wicked sense of humor. Her Christian commitment to social justice continues to influence many. Please let it influence you by visiting thewordguild.com/Deborah-Feguth to read about her books and about the hospitality and love she freely gave to so many refugees, immigrants, and international students. You can also read there about how to donate to support this cash prize. This award in her name recognizes published writing that exhibits the kind of Christian love for neighbors and social justice that Deborah Feguth showed. And the winner for this year is Ruth Coghill of Bobcage in Ontario and Sarah Davison of Guelph, Ontario, for their book, Unborn, Untold, True Stories of Abortion and God's Healing Grace, published by Word Alive Press. Congratulations to both of you.
Sarah and I are honored to be the recipients of this year's Deborah Feguth Social Justice Award. Truly, Deborah's legacy inspires us. 33 years ago, I experienced a glimpse into the abortion narrative, a dark stain on our beautiful nation. Since that time, I've had a growing passion to tell my story and to share the stories of those who have no voice and no platform. Thank you, Faith Today, for making this possible. It's encouraged me to continue the movement, Unborn, Untold, sharing our stories, impacting our culture. Thank you, and to God be the glory.
Hi, my name is Natasha Duquette, and I am on the board of the Word Guild. It was my pleasure to nominate Michael O'Brien for the Leslie K. Tarr Lifetime Achievement Award. He is an artist and a prolific novelist. He also writes nonfiction. He is the artist and writer in residence at Our Lady Seat of Wisdom College. First, I'm going to show you an example of his art. I love his art. Even more, I love his novels, especially Sophia House. A friend of mine lent me his copy of Sophia House when I was going through a hard time, and it brought me deep comfort. It wrestles with difficult questions like child abuse and the Holocaust with much honesty. So I see Michael O'Brien as a truth teller, and this is something that we really need in our world today. So it was my honor and pleasure to nominate him for this award.
My name is Father John O'Brien. I'm a priest and a member of the Society of Jesus. And I'm also the son of the author, Michael O'Brien. Growing up, I always knew my father as a painter and a writer who would often come to the dinner table a little bit glassy-eyed from all of his imaginative journeyings during his working hours. When supper was over, however, Dad always did the same thing with his children, all 6 of us. He read to us. night after night, year after year, countless works of literature that went on to form the horizons of our moral imaginations. In later years, I was privileged to read the manuscripts of his own books. And Dad, I can say without hesitation that your novels are literature of the highest order. They have a beauty and a power that conveys somehow your own deep down awareness of the Father's eternal love for his children. On behalf of the tens of thousands of your own spiritual children, your readers, allow me to say thank you for your lifetime of achievement in faithfully serving the living Word.
Thank you very much for this award, the Leslie K. Tarr Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award for my writing. A life given to Christ in the service of his kingdom, entrusting all our natural talents, our gifts, our creative gifts especially, is a life of many surprises and many adventures, also many challenges and hardships. It is a path of faith, the desire to make something beautiful that will give hope, understanding, and even life to others. Throughout the last 50 years of my writing, a major concept for me, a guiding concept, has been that of co-creation. God never pushes our nature aside. He always seeks to perfect and ennoble our nature through grace. And so for the artist, for the creative writer, serving Christ, our task is to be, at the same time as we unceasingly develop our natural talents, we be constantly invoking the grace of God so that grace and nature can work together. That is my hope for my own work and for all of you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Word Guild. I'm excited to be announcing the Best Book Cover of the Year Award, sponsored by Calyx Studios. And we had a lot of great covers this year. So the top three, the short list is as follows. Liz Manigran, Vancouver, BC, Embrace Clinging to Christ Through the Pain of Pregnancy Loss, by Word Alive Press. Janet Surratt from Barrie, Ontario, Scarlet Spectacles from B&H Publishing. And Jen Pollock Michael, East York, Ontario, Surprised by Paradox, The Promise of And in an Either-Or World, by Ivy Press. And the winner of this year's award is Janet Surratt from Barrie, Ontario, with Scarlet Spectacles. Congratulations, Janet.
Well, thank you so much. And specifically a big thanks to our award sponsor, Calyx Studios, for choosing to honor the central role that visual creativity plays in delivering important messages to the hearts and minds of readers, and in this case, children. And secondly, I just have to say that it's not difficult to come up with a charming end product when you are privileged to collaborate with a generous and exceptional publisher like B&H Publishing and a skilled, whimsical artist like Shane Crampton. We were all very happy with how the project ended up, and I am delighted to have my name on it. So thank you for this honor.
And for the big category, the big win, the Best Canadian Book of the Year from all of the book entries taken here. This is the grand prize here for books. And this year, the 2 Award of Merits are given to Valentina Gal from Fergus, Ontario, Filipovna, Daughter of Sorrow, published by Guernica Editions. That's a difficult one. And Mary A. Cassian from Sherwood Park, Alberta, The Right Kind of Strong, published by Thomas Nelson Press. Both of those women were Award of Merits for their entries. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then an even bigger accomplishment is the winner that was chosen from all of the books entered. And I'm going to say that this was so difficult. It took the judges, the grand prize judges, an hour and a half to come to the conclusion. And when they finally did, they realized that both of them, when they were given all the books, both were drawn and both read this book first. And so we just knew that that was God, you know, highlighting that this was the right book to win. It drew that attention. And Janet Surrett from Barrie, Ontario, you are the grand prize winner for Scarlet Spectacles, published by B&H Publishing. Congratulations. That is such a huge accomplishment.
Thank you so much. First, I specifically want to thank the Word Guild for having the vision to fuel and celebrate literary works that are written for the glory of God and the good of people. Thank you for all that you're doing and for enabling nights like this. I owe a big thanks to my husband Glenn and my daughters Taylor, Avery, and Scarlett for allowing this middle-aged mom to have and pursue dreams, as well as providing some great material to write about. Thanks also to my treasured extended family and friends in South Shore Bible Church for all of their continued love and support, and specifically for my father, Eric Hartland, for passing down the family genetic trait of rhyming. I think that's in there somewhere. And a huge thanks to my tenacious and talented agent, Kyle Young, and Michelle Freeman, my editor at B&H, and her team for believing in this project and for giving me an opportunity in the traditional world of publishing. And finally, as the Bible clearly states that we have no talent or skill that does not come to us except by the grace of God and for His purposes, I ultimately need to thank God for giving me a love of words, an understanding of their power, and a desire to use them for good. So thank you so much to everyone. This is such an honor, and I am very grateful.
Our last award is the Best Canadian New Author of the Year award. And I'm so excited to have Glowbox as the sponsor of this award. So the winner will receive a cash prize, a glass award, and a Glowbox with all the amazing inspirational gifts inside. Our shortlist for this award are Kathy Ostapchuk from Oakville, Ontario, in her entry, Brave Women, Bold Moves, and that was published by Word Alive Press. We have Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario, in her 2 entries, her first book, One More Tomorrow, and her second book, Soul Focus, from Word Alive Press. And then we have Valentina Gal from Fergus, Ontario, in her book, Filipovna, Daughter of Sorrow, published by Guernica Editions. And the winner of the 2020 Best Canadian New Author Award goes to Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario. Congratulations, Melanie.
Hi, everyone. I am so honored to be receiving this award tonight for Best New Canadian Author. You know, to be recognized for something that you've loved doing since you were a kid is humbling and enormous and emotional. So thank you so much. You know, it takes a huddle when you're a writer to kind of crowd around you and support you. And for me, that's been my husband, Ralph, my kids, Curtis, Connor, Alana, and Kira. You guys never let me give up on my dream. You're always there saying, when are you going to publish that book? So thank you. And to my family and friends, my extended family, you guys are amazing. You know, you've showed up, you've, you know, encouraged me all the way. And also to the readers, you know, your praise and feedback has been priceless and precious to me. And I'm so, so grateful for your support. To the Word Guild, thank you to Sherry and your team for putting this on, and also for, you know, providing a place for writers to connect and thrive. Thank you so much. And to Glowbox for, you know, believing in Canadian authors and supporting and, you know, just sponsoring this award. I am so grateful. So thank you. I wanted to thank God too, just for giving us the gift of words and saving me to, you know, guide those words. And also all of you nominees and winners tonight, you know, you guys are amazing. Keep writing, you know, and congratulations to each one. Thank you.
What an award celebration. How incredible. The entries were just amazing this year. And it's the first year ever that we got to celebrate from sea to Shining Sea. Everyone's been here from across the country and literally people around the globe. It's so great to have you all cheering your friends on. And I hope that you will continue to cheer your friends on and share on social media about how you won or how your friends won. And I want to just, point out and highlight some of the great accomplishments that our writers made this year. Janet Surratt, you were the big winner this year. And Janet, you took home 3 awards. How amazing is that? You took the win in your category, the win for the best book cover, and the grand prize win. So amazing. And then newcomer, girl, you are just killing it this year. Melanie Stevenson from Cambridge, Ontario. You published 2 books in your debut year. You made 3 times onto the shortlist and took home 2 wins in this year's award. So just incredible awards winning this year. And then we had a number of people to take home not just 1 win, but 2 wins. And let me just remind you who these people are. And I have to go off of this from a list because there's just too many of you to remember. So there was Julia Friesen, Paul C. Breen, Eleanor Burton, Carolyn Arends, Craig McCartney, Terry Todd, Melanie Stevenson, and Susan Doherty. Congratulations to everyone who won. We think what you have done is exemplary. And we're just so thankful that you all joined in to watch and cheer on your friends.
But maybe the rest of us need a little help with our writing. And I know that the Word Guild is looking to do an online conference to help people with their writing. And so we don't have the full details just yet. Everything is still kind of evolving. So make sure you go and jump on the Facebook page and like it and stay tuned for all the announcements that will be coming up. And as well, make sure you check your inbox because as soon as the details come out, they will hit your inbox. So make sure to check for that as well.
Well, we are so thankful for our sponsors and everyone who has been involved. Joe, it's been lots of fun sharing the awards presentations with you. Thanks for being a part of it.
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me be a part of it. And secondly, thank you for giving me a reason to dress up for the first time in 4 months.
I know.
So you talk about, what do they say? All dressed up with no place to go.
Yeah, that would be, the song for COVID. Definitely.
Yeah, so it's been nice to get all dressed up and all that.
Yeah.
It's been great to be able to share with you all these amazing writers across our country. And God willing, next year we'll be able to do this in person, sitting at a table together in a nice room with a nice meal. But this was a really cool way to do it as well for me.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And for those of you that did take home a win, I want you to stay aware of your inbox and make sure that you get an email by tomorrow with the directions explaining when the glass awards are being mailed out to you, when your certificates and the checks for those of you that are in categories where there's a cash prize that are going to be sent out. So a lot of information coming your way. And then, of course, for everyone on our mailing list, you will be getting a copy of our winners list for this year, the 32nd Annual Word Awards. We want to thank all of you from across Canada for joining with us.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We want to thank our many generous sponsors of the 2020 Word Awards celebration. In alphabetical order, they are Belinda's Bursting with Flavor Pies, Carol Ford, Castle Key Books, Compassion Canada, Cowlick Studios, Crossroads Communications, Deep Dive Author Club, Faith Today Magazine, Fletcher's Horse Trailers, Glowbox, HH Communication Services, Hope for Liberia, Joe Amaral, Karen Amaral Design, Light Magazine, Ottawa Christian Writers Fellowship, Paul Boga, Redeemer University, Sherry Stahl, Soul H2O Ministries, Testimony Enrich Magazine, That's Life Communications, the Bingley Family, the Christian Herald, the Mackey Family, the Robertson Family, Tyndale University, and Word Alive Press. And we would also like to thank all of our friends of the awards donors.